So, Otakuans, what's going on, y'all? Welcome back to another
So,
beautiful episode. Today, we're going to be giving y'all a little review. Spoiler warning, because it is about a movie that is currently. We are going to be reviewing Chainsaw Man Reze Arc. So again, if you haven't seen it, I mean, you can still watch it. I mean, it's a movie. I mean, it is what it is. I don't care. You can stay here, you can leave. Hit a like, put like a blah, blah, blah down in the comments, and then go. All right. Let it actually leave your computer and or phone or tablet running, and then go watch it in there so we get the view, and then come back and watch the
rewatch it
review.
again.
Rewatch it again. Yeah. So again, like, subscribe, leave a comment, ring the notification bell down below so you don't miss out on any future episodes. Let's hop into it today. That movie was trash. I'm gonna be honest with you. This might be a hot take, but I'm gonna just jump off the diving
You
board.
tell me why you feel like it was trash.
If you're putting out an anime movie for a famous anime in this season of famous animes that are getting movies right now, you could have done so much better, or just not put it out. As a movie, it was trash. If it would have been a season and or just in the show, I would have been like, cool, it's a show. It is what it is. But to make this a movie, to me, is why it's trash.
Okay.
So not necessarily what happens and or what it is, but this is such an how do I put this? I'm trying to think of the word. Such an anticlimactic movie that literally doesn't affect anything or anybody to where it didn't need to be a movie. This is like I'm trying to think of something like.
It's very
I'm trying to think of an arc in a show that was just unsatisfying and making that a movie. I was gonna say like Entertainment District, but then we got that fight between Tungen and the brother. So like that, I mean, and then I was thinking like I don't know. There's not much I can't really think of anything. It's like honestly, it'd be like putting the Genin exam and making that. And it's just like they're taking a test. You know, maybe that's a bad example, but like I'm trying to think of an arc that's just uninspiring. And the idea and the reason why is because it didn't have any impact on anything. I understand, and we're gonna get into the movie. We're gonna wave top the movie and everything, but like it didn't. There was no like, like, oh my gosh, like we know the JJK movie is gonna be about like I forgot what his name is, but oh boy, coming back from overseas, fighting curses and trying to kill Denji or not Denji, Itadori. So we know that, right? Like that's gonna happen. That's gonna be a very pivotal moment in our boy's story. Demon Slayer Infinity Castle. They went to the freaking Infinity Castle and fought upper ranked demons and people Hashira have died already. And so like pivotal moment in these characters' lives. Denji falls in love with a random girl and then she betrays him. Like, yeah, that's usual. And then Makima doesn't really do anything. We see Angel Boy, and that's cool. But like, and then Denji goes back to pretty much he's gonna go back to living his life because we know he waited for it. We're gonna get into it. I'm just saying, like, there's nothing pivotal in these characters' lives unless like in the next season that they bring out, a lot of what happened in this is pivotal in how Denji starts to act now. But we don't see that now. So I'm going off of beginning movie, end of movie. And nobody knows what's going to happen next unless you've read the manga. And that's fine, but we can't bring that into context yet because we just got the movie. So like
I feel like that's a little unfair though.
I don't think so because
If you're
not everybody reads ahead.
if you're
Most
saying
people
that
don't.
the JJK what's coming out soon is that's pivotal because of what's going to happen in the future and how it's relevant, then you can't say that Chainsaw Man.
Well,
Well,
no,
we don't
no.
know
I'm
what's going on in the
saying
future.
when we get the movie, because we know that what this movie's gonna be about. I'm not saying it's pivotal now because it hasn't happened. I'm just saying that the idea of making something a movie, all the movies we've gotten and or will get besides Chainsaw Man, we are pivotal moments in the characters' lives. We see that in the movie. This movie itself had no pivotal moment in there for any of our characters and didn't change anything. And I'm saying you can't reference the manga because most people don't read the manga. Most people, I'm not saying most people don't read the manga, but a lot of people in the United States, and we did polls on this, a lot of people in the United States don't read ahead. Most people are just anime watchers. They don't read anymore, and that's just a fact, right? And so I'm saying we can't pull what happens in the manga yet because it's animated. However, with JJK, we already know, like most people already know, majority of people already know what's going to happen, which a majority of people don't know what's going to happen next in Chainsaw Man because they don't. So that's why I'm kind of saying that.
Okay, okay.
Like, you know what I'm
So
saying?
I have a counter argument and I have a hot take. I got two things. So first,
Okay.
for my counter argument, no, first I want to go with the hot take first. So my hot take is, well, this first is going to start with a question. Do you
Okay.
think that the Demon Slayer Infinity Castle movie was better than this movie?
Yes.
Then my hot take is, I don't believe so. I actually think the
That's
complete
crazy.
opposite, where I
That's
think this
insane.
one performed better as a movie compared to Demon Slayer performed as a movie. And the why. And I'm gonna tell you exactly why. Thank you for asking.
That's
The Demon
insane.
Slayer movie was at 2.5 hours, something like that, was over
Two
an
31.
hour worth of flashbacks. Over an hour worth of flashbacks, in which those flashbacks cut into the action over and over and over. The last 30 minutes of the movie was a flashback to come back to the fight being over. I think Demon Slayer Infinity Castle, at least part one, that would have been better as a TV series. Only because
Crazy.
it's think about it this. Think about it this way. When you think of a movie, do you think of a
Yeah.
movie about flashbacks, or do you think about an action-packed movie
So
to
that
gain the attention of the audience?
that's a loaded question for me because I'm an extreme cinema buff of not only anime but also actual live action movies. And
Mhm.
because I've seen a plethora in my library in my knowledge so large of how you remember Avatar, that owl that was in the library in the Avatar? Like
Yeah.
that's my head full of movies, right?
Hmm.
I have seen so many different kinds of movies that the Infinity Castle movie with those flashbacks meant a lot more to me, and I enjoyed the flashback instead of it being something different. Now,
Near
we're
half
going
the movie though.
if I was going into a movie
Mm.
and this movie was not about, I guess, character development, it was a one shot like western or
Mm.
something, right? Like a one shot western movie because I love me some western. And all it was flashbacks, and there's no need for character development or backstory because I haven't lived with these characters for however many years Demon Slayer's been out, or seen them fight. Why do they act the way they do? So on and so on. It was just a one shot western. I'd be like,
Mm.
what am I watching?
So what is
Like,
your
what is
defense for
going
Demon
on?
Slayer? Because the flashbacks that we got for
Because
Demon Slayer are people who were dying.
But it doesn't. But the thing is, the flashbacks meant more to me, and I've
Mm.
had this conversation with other people as well.
Mm.
They meant more, and they did something for us because we knew these characters either before or they had some kind of like impact on our characters in the past because we've not grown up with them, but like we've I mean, like I guess in Demon Slayer we've grown up with them. That's like the best way I could put
Okay.
but like not necessarily like physically grown up with them. I understand your reasoning. Like, there's people obviously I've seen online. People hated the flashbacks. People hated this,
Oh, I'm
hated
not
that. But
saying I
like,
hate the flashbacks. I think the flashbacks were good. I just think the movie with the amount of flashbacks it had and the constant need for the flashbacks to tell an overall story would have worked better for a TV series, a 13 episode or a 26 episode season versus a 2.5 hour movie
reason
where over an hour
we
was flashbacks.
we talked about this though. Remember, we said we'd rather it be a movie because if they was a TV series, then a whole entire episode would have been a flashback, and we'd be like, "Why? What are we doing?"
And so instead they
Like,
gave us a whole half
we
an
agree.
hour of it. Like I would
Yeah,
have
but
still
we got
preferred
to
that.
see the whole story or we got to see the whole part one in its entirety
Hmm.
instead of waiting for the next week episode to come out and it's an entire flashback the entire episode and being like, fuck, now I gotta wait another week.
Yeah,
Like we agreed on that.
but
We
imagine
talked about that.
imagine going and expecting just throwing of hands and then
But they did
sitting
though.
quiet no for a half an hour. Akaza's flashback was hella long. A
Yeah,
half an
but it was at
hour.
the
Uh,
end of the movie.
exactly. It was the end of the movie is the climax. The end of the movie is the best fight, the climax, the
I
most shit
mean,
happening, not a quiet
it
okay, let's look
sets
at
up the
his
next fights
past.
though.
And don't get me
At
wrong,
the
and I'm not
after that,
arguing
it
that
sets it
it's
up.
bad. And again, I'm not arguing that it's bad.
Mm.
It's just I feel like it would have worked better as a TV series compared to Chainsaw Movie. Now, going back to the Chainsaw Movie, that was just
Mm.
action. That whole movie was action. They did a little bit of the soft storytelling in the beginning, and then from a quarter of the way in, all action. That's
But
how
it
a
was
movie.
just
That's what you expect when you go to a movie.
true. And I appreciate, so hear me out. I appreciate the action. I'm not telling you that the story and
No,
or
no, no. I
what
feel you.
happened was bad at all. I think it was great. But like to for it to be a movie, like for them to put the moniker of movie, like movies, when we hear anime movies, they're like from the Naruto movies that came out, from the One Piece movies, from now Infinity Castle to what we know we're gonna get in JJK, like expecting very pivotal and heavy moments in these
Not
movies
at all.
because that's what we've gotten.
Not at
This
all.
is just
When you look at
that's
that was my second point. When you look at these movies, One Piece, Naruto, they give us non-canon movies. Nothing pivotal, nothing
true.
that's changing the actual story.
But
That's
I'm saying
nothing to do
in
with it. Chainsaw Man. At least that
I
movie
mean
was canon.
Naruto
It was an actual arc
Naruto
from the manga.
references in Naruto, and it may not be canon in the manga, but in the Naruto anime, they reference the movies quite a bit in certain areas of the anime. So regardless of we see, so like for example, Naruto did a specific Rasengan move in the Land Hidden in the Snow. If I forgot what the movie was called,
Hmm.
so it was like the first Naruto movie ever came out. He did a specific right. Um, in after when that movie came out in regular Naruto going forward, he was able to do that move. So for me, it was we saw it in the movie, which means that's when he developed it, and to now him being able to do that. And I'm not necessarily this example of pivotal, but like if you are really paying attention, you would be like, well, where did Naruto get the ability? You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
And so that's what I'm saying in the fact of like in Chainsaw Man, there's nothing pivotal. Like, yeah, they're not, some of them are non-canon movies, but like other than that, it doesn't affect. I know Denji fell in love with her. He said, we're this one again, we need to start like from the beginning of the movie. But
You're right,
like
beginning. We already did.
other than that, like he waited for her at the cafe and then she got this movie was so predictable to me. It was so predictable.
Okay.
Like,
I mean,
like
most movies are predictable, but didn't
honestly, not
Denji use his chains on his chainsaw more or for the first
he
time in this
he
movie?
he did do that for the first time. So I guess the Rasengan
And then
thing
a
would be
team up with the Shark Boy, like
the shirt thing was
and
kind
then
of a gag.
seeing
That was a
more of
gag.
how
Come on now.
no, that's canon. That's hella canon.
No, I'm not saying that's not
Oh,
canon.
it
I'm
just
saying
is meant
like
to be
him
funny.
riding a
Yeah,
shark is
hey,
like
but
a
that shit
gag
was
thing.
fire though. Chainsaw Man
So
riding
stupid.
and let's not get too in the movie though, but that was fire. And then seeing
Yeah.
Makima do what she did at the end of the movie and then fully building on her character as the antagonist, the true antagonist of the story. Like I think
But
in
I don't
pieces,
think
the movie was epic.
we know that Makima is a bad guy. We know that.
Spoiler
But
alert.
as a character, spoiler alert, sorry. But as a character or as a character, what she did was actually not bad. Like, yeah, she kept this girl from Denji, but that's literally has she's been the enemy the whole movie. So I
Mm,
would expect, like, for me and you, for example, like say we were boys, we were like we were in the I don't know, we were in the ninja, we were fucking joning, right?
mm.
And we were fighting this bitch all freaking day and all night. We were fighting some girl, right? And then at the end of it, I end up finding out that you fell in love with her. She's bad though. She's been trying to kill you, trying to kill my people.
Yeah,
She's
yeah,
killed
yeah.
multiple people. And then you fell in love with her. Meet up before she gets to you. I'm stopping her and I'm capping her shit
Yeah,
because
yeah.
I'm like, she's not good for my boy. I don't care if he loves
With
her.
no
He'll never
extra
find out
knowledge,
anyways.
that all makes sense. But think about it with
That's what I'm
no
saying.
extra
She
knowledge
can't
about.
build an attack.
Look at this way though. With no extra knowledge, not knowing anything about the story, you see the
Yeah.
final scene and what she does, and then finding out that her eyes and ears, like, wait. I thought she was just the leader. What is these powers? What is she doing?
I
Why does
don't
she
think
seem like she knows
true.
everything?
True.
Like,
The whole rat thing was crazy, but like at the end of the day, like if you're in charge of a bunch of super powered fiends and humans, like yeah, I feel like yeah, you would have eyes and ears on because most of them are bad. Like most of them are are like
fair argument.
slaves. Like most of them are fiends or devils that they have subdued and subjugated to work to do their will.
Mm.
So like I'm keeping my eyes on these motherfuckers, like especially Denji. Denji's a wild card.
And didn't she
Like
make a
I'm keeping,
comment at one
and then
point when she
she
found
had
out
she had a
about
whole date on
Makaba?
him in the first place. Like you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah. Well,
Like
I
shit.
mean, she's mad, but we know why. But then she make a
Right.
comment at one point when she found out about Makaba and their kind of their relationship, and she made a comment like,
Or,
"Oh,
yes,
there's
she
no
did.
way that there was no point of me even trying then, because I know that she
Yeah.
got her claws into you." Like,
Yeah, she did.
not knowing is like, what do you mean by that? I need to
True.
find out.
Or you can interpret it as like it's Makima. She's fine and she powerful. Like, of course. Honestly, you
Okay.
could.
I
Could you
mean,
not
I
though?
mean, you
Could you not
could,
though?
but a more
You could
inquisitive
interpret it and be like,
mind,
oh,
someone who actually pays attention to storytelling, they're
okay.
going to see that and be like, I want
Well,
to know
yeah,
more now.
okay. More inquisitive, but you could be like, we know Makima's strong as from the last. We know she's strong. We know that she gets what she wants because we've seen her do the whole. We already seen her do sacrificing enemies to
Mm-hmm.
do her whole powers. We've already seen her do these things, so we know she's kind of fucked up in the first place, right? We know she's screwed up in the head, but for a girl to be like, "Oh, Makima," like, yeah, like she already got her. She already sunk into you, which means she gets what she wants.
Mm-hmm.
She's strong and she bad. Like I got no chance
That's
anyways.
true, true,
Plus,
true,
I'm not
true.
fighting. I'm definitely not gonna fight her. So like like I ain't about to.
I just think, to be fair, there are little nuggets, in some cases, little bigger nuggets throughout the movie that
There
I,
are,
I think are
but
beneficial to the
I
overall
just don't.
storyline
I
compared
just
to
don't think
most
that they're
other anime
big.
movies these
Yeah,
days.
I don't think they're big enough though for somebody to take this in that's never read the manga, doesn't know what's gonna happen next, to just be like, wow, that's really gonna change our characters'
Or
lives.
even if they don't,
Like,
even if they never read the manga, don't know the story at all, don't know anything is going to happen in the future or past, and they just watch this movie, they're going to be like, "That shit was badass. That movie was badass."
but I think the majority of people that did watch it though have seen the
I mean,
previous
yeah, of course, of
seasons.
course.
So going off that fact, it'd be like,
Oh,
cool.
this is
Like,
more
yeah, this movie,
development for the future, and we
it
got
was
to see
dope. Like,
Chainsaw Man
cool.
go the fuck off.
Be like, yeah, it was dope. And he did a new move with his chains. And
Mm-hmm.
even though he was stupid in the beginning, he said, I'm gonna ride a shark instead. But like, I don't know. It was just so predictable. Like, it was really like I knew they was gonna try to run off. I immediately, I'm telling you, when I was watching this and she was running to go to Denji, I said out loud, verbally, out loud, I said, Makima about to show up. I said it without even with while she was running, and then she showed up, and I'm like,
That's because we
yeah,
just truly understand the story,
yeah,
so
like she gonna
we
show.
can see shit that's about to happen.
And like I'm just like I got future sight or something because I'm just like, yeah, Makima about.
Because
I didn't know how
it
she was gonna.
ain't no way he can be happy.
I will say
He's not allowed to be
I didn't
happy.
like know Angel Boy was going like Mike Saint Michael was going to show up and just destroy this lady with like holy swords, but
Mm.
like which is kind of badass,
Yeah, I
which was
fucks with
kind
his
of bad.
power
I
too.
wanted to see him. I wanted to see him go. To
Yeah, I want to see
be
more
honest,
of
more
him.
than anybody else. But all right, let's hop in. Let's hop into the beginning of the
Into
movie.
our little
Yeah,
quick synopsis, you
yeah,
know.
a little quick synopsis of the movie. So this is movie Reze Arc. We get our boy Denji power, and which kind of threw me off, but they kind of explained it later. I'm glad we get Denji power, and I always forget his
Aki.
name. Aki.
Mm.
Yeah, like Kong. We get him. That's yeah, that's probably my favorite thing. But they're in their apartment, so on and so forth, and then Power wakes up like extra horns and shit, and I'm like, what's going on? We end up finding out that's because she just consumed too much blood, and so she has to get every once in a while, which is crazy to me. But wakes up. Denji ends up going on a date with Makima. I believe it's from a deal they made in the previous season, if I remember correctly. They made a deal or something like that where if he did something, she would go on a date with him. Or I think I remember that because she gives him goals, relationship and sexual goals, but like because that's what motivates him. Um, and he ends up going on a date with her. They go to like 10 movies in a row, and she's like, I only like one movie out of 10. They're like, that movie is stupid. That movie don't make no sense. And then our boy ends up leaving Makima and ends up running in the rain because it's raining and stuff like that. Gets in a phone booth, and then our girl shows up. She ends up running in the same phone booth as him. He does a little magic trick with her, and she's just like, "Oh, hey, let's like come by the shop, come by my shop where I work and stuff like that, and I'll get you some lunch or something like that for giving me the flower." And he's like, "Cool." Ends up going by the shop, meets her, finds out her name's Rize. They talk a little bit. At the same time, We know that Makima sent out our boy Shark to go follow him. So essentially, like follow him around. He's like a little fin in the ground, which is, and then it starts raining. He's like, "Whoa!" Like, this is fucking stupid. But is following him around. He ends up meeting Reze, goes to the shop with her. He goes to the shop again. I think they kind of do like a mini time skip where he's like hanging out with her a lot and like going to the shop, and it's like, and then his internal monologue. I love Makima. I've always loved this girl. Like actually likes me back, and she fine too. Because I mean, she is fine too. Makima still she the one, but this girl's fine too. Like I don't know how to feel about my feelings for Makima and my feelings for her for Rize. And then we get our boy, or then they're going on dates, they're going on dates, they're going on dates, so on and so forth. And then that's when they essentially go up to well, I mean, we get the side story of Aki and the angel. I forgot what his name is. The angel kid. I
Angel.
forgot. Is his name Angel?
Yeah, Angel.
Okay. Yeah, we get the side quest from them. Akima essentially tells him that they're going to team up together, and his goal is to get him to work because he's really lazy and he wants to die.
Even though
And
he's
like
most powerful.
even though he's like the second, or they said he's like the third most powerful
Second.
in the set. Is he 2nd?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, second most behind Makima. He's the second most powerful in all first. The Executioner Society, whatever they call him. I keep forgetting what they. But he tells them to team up with him. They go team up together. They start trying to, fight fiends and stuff and all the other kinds of demons. Then we get Denji and Reze on the top of a mountain. She brings him up there to kiss him, to go see the fireworks and stuff like that. That's where we get our first dialogue about Makima, where he's just like, look, I don't know. She asked him to run away together, and he's just like, oh, I don't know, Oh, sorry. Prior to that, I skipped something. They go to the school first.
Okay.
They go to the school. They go to the school first, and then obviously that's the Reze arc, and we know like she's a bad guy. Like it's pretty predictable if you just know anything. But we know she has something pivotal in this. But we go to the school. They're hanging out in school. She says she's gonna go to the bathroom, and then this psycho killer dude shows up trying to kill the Chainsaw Man, but sees her, and then ends up chasing her down to the top of the rooftop, which she obvious reasons to set him in a trap. And then she does this like Muay Thai jiu-jitsu shit and like puts him in a rear naked, breaks his neck. And then one of the fiends, Typhoon, I believe is the name of the
I think so.
being Typhoon, is just like, Typhoon, why did you send this person here? And she's just like, oh, Lady Reze. And she was like, I'll tell them to stand down and I'll hang out. She's like, well, since you did this, you're going to serve me for a little while, and then your debt will be settled. Goes back down to Denji. They talk, and then they go back up. Then they go to the mountain. Then they go up to the top of the mountain to see the fireworks and everything like that. And then that's when we get the dialogue of Makima. He's just like, look, I can't run away with you. Like, I really like my job. I really like this. I really like that. So on and so forth. And then she's like, oh, you like somebody else, huh? I'm like, well, yeah, obviously. And then she's just like, oh, it's Makima. Like, obviously she got her claws in you, so there would be no point in me asking you anyways. And then she's like, I think I'm almost positive he's about to say, well, no, like he does say, he's like, no, I like you too. Like, I like you too. And then she runs up to kiss him, and then she bites his tongue off. She bites his whole tongue off, and he falls to the ground, and she's like, eh. Tongue is literally on her tongue. And he's like, what the hell? And then as she, goes in with the knife, and she's like, well, now because obviously she's the bad guy. Our Shark Boy and Lava Girl, no, sorry, just Boy, shows up and is just like ta-da, and like grabs Denji, and then we finally get her fiend form. She's the bomb devil. Shark Boy essentially goes like, I can't believe I couldn't smell it. I can't believe like I didn't recognize who she was. It's the bomb devil. And then she's just like kaboom, and like pulls her little pin out of her neck and turns into the whole bomb devil. Pretty much like Shigaraki 2.0, I guess. Or not Shigaraki, Bakugo 2.0. So, which came out first?
Chainsaw Man, My Hero? I'm pretty sure My Hero.
So, yeah. So, Bakugo 2.0, essentially. Got bombs on her dress, bombs on her. She can spit bombs out of her fingers and like shoot them at people. She can touch somebody and put bombs inside of them. She can like blow her head off and like throw it and it explodes. And then obviously because she regenerates, she literally can do anything bomb related. And at first, to be fair, I thought she could only like explode things she touched, and I'm like, well, that's not really badass. But then I saw her throwing like spark bombs at people, and I'm like, okay. So she's like our boy from Full Metal
She,
Alchemist,
she
just
like
like,
she like Gojo too. Gojo with his purple. She hits you with one of these,
oh
and all of a
yeah.
sudden, boom.
I was thinking our boy Mustang, where he's just like,
Oh yeah, his little crack. Damn.
but and then she starts chasing Denji, obviously, and Denji all kind of up because his whole arms and limbs, and she blows his limbs off. And then end up running off into they end up running off into this. At this moment in time, we find out that or Aki and Angel Boy show up to Aki's old, like he's at his old, I believe, clan or his old like division. I think it's like division. He's at his old division with the people who all, which this was actually surprising to me. They all can use cone. I guess they all have a, or at least the captain and the vice captain have a contract with cone to use him. And so, well, they show up there, and then the Shark Boy brings Denji into Division Two, knowing that Aki and all are there because that's the closest division to them. And then they go in there. Bomb Girl shows up, like in her Reze shows up in her own skin, and she's like, help me, devil." There's a devil coming after me, like trying to be all sneaky. But then the dude, the captain's like, she real smiley for being about to die. That's crazy. He's like, hey, everybody, get out of here, go inform other divisions. And then the Shark Boy's like, that's the bomb devil. And then she's just like, oh well, kaboom, and just blows that whole thing to smithereens. And he's like, hey, you two go kill her. If you could kill, I forgot what if you could kill her, then. And then them two were actually kind of goated. Like if she wasn't so strong, they probably have killed like a lot of devils. I forgot what their power was. Like they like did they put what did they do to her? They bit their hands.
Mm-hmm.
You remember the two dudes that walked up on her? What did they do to her? I forgot.
I can't remember. I
They
know they
like
bit their
bit their
hands and like
hands.
it was covering her with their blood or something. I can't remember.
I think they like bit their hands, and then her blood like coagulated or something, or like her blood like froze or something like that. If I remember correctly.
Yeah, I think something like that.
It's like, yeah, her blood like coagulated or froze or like some nonsense. I don't know, something, but it was honestly badass. But I was like, obviously she's not gonna die because like she's the main antagonist of the story. And so she ends up killing them, like exploding both of them. And so then we get them in essentially in a whole ass fight in the middle of that dojo or in the middle of that settlement. And they have the captain essentially going after the captain fighting her, and he does the whole cone thing. Cone misses, and then she's about to kill him, and then the vice captain, and then Cone bites her, but then the Cone's like, I'm not dealing with who the fuck you got me fighting. I'm not fighting this person because like apparently she's obviously really strong, and Cone's like, yeah, I'm out of here. Like
Then he
I'm
just
out, and Cone just disappears, and then like she shows back up with her full thing and literally ends up killing both of them as as Shark Boy is trying to get Denji away with Angel and Aki. She walks up with both their heads like, "That's all you got?" Like, and they're just like, get in the fucking car."
If you want to talk about affecting the story, how many people did she kill? She killed
I mean, yeah,
everyone.
she killed all of Division Two. Yeah, I
Mm-hmm.
mean, she killed literally everybody in that building. But she walks up with the heads and it was like, get in the fucking car. And so they get in the car, and now they're driving. Then she's blowing shit up, following them, all kinds of stuff, getting on top of their car. She's like, "Oh, you're in a car. Gasoline will explode really well." I'm like, "Yeah, that was kind of stupid. She's the bomb devil car, but whatever." And they get in there. They're talking. She's trying to like blow up their car as they're driving away. Our boy Denji ends up getting some blood, and ends up being able to, rips the ceiling off, gets out there, and he's just like, "Really thought you liked me." We get that funny ass, line. "I really thought you liked me." She's like, "I do like you." He's like, "Oh, really?"
Oh, she's lying to you.
She's Denji. She don't believe her, and he's like, "You don't, you,
You son of a gun.
yeah, you raggedy bit. You almost got me. You almost got me." And she's like, "Oh, it was worth a try." And then we get amazing fighting, obviously. And then Denji's getting belt to ass though, like the entire time. He's getting whooped by this chick, like whooped. and she's throwing him around, beating his ass, like all kinds of stuff. He's regenerating, still like getting his ass whooped.
Mm-hmm.
And then kind of like speeding through some of the action here. We get to the point where he's trying to fight Aki is trying to get Angel Boy to fight. Angel Boy's like, I'm not doing shit. Just and then Aki tries to fight, and he's just like, I have future sight. So like, he has the future devil, which took like the 5 years off his life or whatever. And he's just like fighting her, able to slash her because he can see a few seconds into the future and like slashing her. And then she bodies him. She just explodes him and he just goes flying and fucks off. And then Denji goes back, and then I think it was the shark kid that said, hey, like they end up flying into a building. He's like, hey, you know how she flies around? She uses her mobility or her explosions to fly around. You should try something like that as well.
Mm-hmm.
And then Denji's like, I got it. Turn into a shark. Shark Boy's like, you got it, master. And then he like hops on top of him, pulls the chains up on his mouth. He's like, oh, he's like, exactly what you're talking about. Okay. And then Typhoon ends up coming out, just giant baby tornado, which was just super weird.
Mm-hmm.
Giant baby tornado comes out, starts fucking everything up, blowing everything. Aki and Angel Boy kind of have question. I have a question for you.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you today or when we recorded, but I forgot about it until just now. Is Denji like bisexual?
Is Denji bisexual?
Because
No.
remember when he was sitting there thinking about Maki and Reze and Angel Boy. He was like, I got all these fine people. Like I got she was in like a bikini. Then Reze was in a bikini. And then he showed the Angel kid like laying down there like that as well. Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
recall that
I'm
one.
not
I
kidding.
remember they showed Maki, they showed Reze, and they also
Reze.
showed the smoking girl. But they also
They
showed the
showed
Angel Boy?
yeah, he showed that he was like I forgot exactly his words, but he was just like, yeah, that like I got all these people that I love. And he
Mm-hmm.
showed them in bikinis and then Angel Kid laying in the same position, but not in a but like because it's a boy.
Mm-hmm.
But I was like, wait a second, Denji. Hold on. Hold on.
That's
Was
weird.
that Leonardo DiCaprio thing? Where it was like,
Yeah, we need to take a look at that one again. I'm not.
yeah,
I don't think so.
okay.
I will hope so. Hope not.
I,
But
s-
nothing in his
I, s-
character has showed me that he's
I
bisexual.
sat up. I sat up when he said that because like I couldn't really remember because the whole idea was him being like, I got all these like really beautiful people in my life that I love and something like that. And then it showed he was like, I got Makima Sensei, showed her in a bikini. Then he's like, I got Angel Boy or I got Angel. And then it showed him laying there with a suit on. And then he's like, and I got Reze now, showed her in a bikini. And then it went to just Makima and Reze in bikinis together. And then I was like, we're not going to just skip
Maybe he
past.
was just mentioning all the people he care about and care about him
But
supposedly.
when did he ever care about Angel? Like we never seen this kid before. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
I don't know. We'll run it back and we'll
Yeah,
figure it
yeah,
out.
yeah.
But either way. So then he's riding Shark Boy. He's riding Shark Boy. That we do get the reminded me get the good scene with Aki and Angel. Essentially, Angel is about to die, getting in by that Foon or whatever, and then he's holding on to him, holding on, and then we end up finding out another power because he's an angel as well. Like if you touch him skin to skin, you end up losing the amount of time you touch him is the amount of time, or that amount of time equates to a certain amount of time you lose off your life. And so he's grabbing him. He's just like, just let me die. And he's like, I'm not gonna let you die, and grabs his hand and pulls him in for like a hug to keep him from dying. And he was just like, why'd you touch me? Do you want to die? And he's just like, brother, I already got like under 5 years. Like, like there's not, and he's like, how much did I lose? And he's about two. And so Aki's like, ball,
Another,
the game is the game.
another drop in the bucket.
Yeah, like a game, the ball is ball. I don't know what to tell you. Like, and so, and then he's fighting, and then Denji decides that, hey, well, all on with Reze, like we really need to stop Typhoon because Typhoon's like fucking the city up, like really messing the city up. And then he goes down there. He does this whole thing where they inside when they're in the building devil, he did the exact same thing where he's like, I just have to swing my chainsaws real fast.
Hmm.
It jumps down on top of Typhoon, just starts slicing him up, just like
And
just.
let's not skip over the Sharknado reference. The shark riding around in the tornado, like
I
that
mean,
was Sharknado was on full effect in that part of the movie.
hey, that's a goated series of movies, and I won't talk respect from Sharknado. Um, but Denji goes up, ends up killing the Typhoon, slices him to ribbons,
Hmm.
absolute fucking ribbons,
Literally. Hmm.
literally into ribbons. And then Denji starts, going back to fight Rize, and they end up going to fight Rize. He's still getting belt to ass, still getting belt to ass. Shark Boy ends up getting hurt real bad because she throws like a explosion at him, and he jumps in the way, ends up getting capped by it, and then he ends up going to the water, the pier, I believe. I think it's like a pier or something like that. And she's like, you got nowhere else to go, homeboy. And he's like, me how to, like, brother, you were there for 20 minutes, like.
You taught me how to swim. That's all I needed.
Right, yeah, yeah. And so he ends up using his new technique where he now can use his chains off the chainsaw to like wrap people up, to do whatever. Ends up wrapping her up, pulls her to him, wraps himself together. I guess to like, I thought it was gonna be like a, not like a, end your life kind of, or end my life as well, unaliving himself. But they jump into the water.
I think that
I
was
thought
his.
it was
I think that was his purpose. I think he was
I thought it
trying
was
to
a
take himself
suicide
and
thing.
her out, but Shark
Yeah.
eventually ended up saving both of them.
Did he? I didn't know Shark did. I thought. Oh yeah, because Shark wasn't there.
Yeah, he was on the
So
beach though
yeah, but then
afterwards.
he was in on the beat. Yeah, that makes sense. I didn't really, but yeah, he ends up trying to suicide, murder suicide, and ends up jumping into the water, wrapping, and they get saved and thrown back on the beach. And then Rize, sits up, or Denji's already sitting up, chilling, and then Rize is like sits up. She's like, "Why did you save me?" And he's, or "Why did you, get me out or whatever?" And he's just like, "Brother, I still like you. I don't know what to tell you. Like, I still fuck with you." And she's just like, "You're stupid." And then he's like, "Hey, let's run away together. You wanted to run away? Let's run away." She's like, "You'll never be able to escape. Like, you'll never be able to." He's like, "I don't care. Let's do it. You're strong enough." He literally says like, "You're strong enough, and I'm strong. Like, we could fight off almost anybody."
Hmm.
And she's just like, and she runs into him. And again, predictable. I was like, she gonna stab him. She gonna do something to him. And she runs up to him, breaks his neck. Breaks his neck. He falls on a beach like, you son of a bitch. Like,
Just info. That hug, the hug they did in the scene, didn't actually happen to Monk. She literally just ran up to him and broke his neck. But of course, they had to make it sweet by giving him a hug first
nah,
and
they
then
should have.
do it.
She should have. I would have loved to just see her go up and go.
Literally, it's
Um,
crack. Oh, okay.
yeah, yeah. He falls on the thing. He's like, Shark, wake up. The water's coming. The water starts getting, because he can't move his body. And then he's just like, I'll wait for you. I'll be at the cafe. I'll wait for you at lunch. Like, I'll wait for you. Blah 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 blah. She runs off, and then she's obviously out there, contemplating and all this kind of sweet nonsense, contemplating life. And then she's like, "Oh, I actually do love Dan." And then we get her scene of her running towards the cafe, to go meet Denji. She's like walking and then slowly run and then runs and sprint. And then again, I verbally out loud was like, Makima, before she even get there. And then Makimo, literally in like a rat transformation jutsu, literally shows up in front of her, and she's just, you thought she was sweet. Oh, you really thought you was gonna have a love story, huh? That's crazy. And then she goes to pull her thing, and shing, like a sword out of nowhere, holy sword out of nowhere, slice her hand off. And then she's like, what the? And then she's like, and then shing right through the body. And we're like, what? And then boy just like aura farming on top of the damn building like Piccolo, and he's just like throwing holy swords, stabbing her body. And Makima's like, "That's my man. That's my man, motherfucker. Hey, hey,
Whispering
hey,
in it. Hey, don't do
hey,
that ever again.
hey. You thought she was sweet? You thought this ain't no picnic, bitch? Like what? You thought she was sweet, huh?" And then I don't. Does she? I actually can't remember. I watched it literally yesterday. I can't remember. Did she kill her or did she capture her?
Killed her.
I forgot.
Dead.
She
Dead.
killed
Dead.
her, right? Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. She, and then Makima, being Makima, sliced her shit up. And then as she's like dying, she looks and sees Denji like through the window, sitting there at the table. And Makima's like, "I know everything. Since the beginning, I knew this was gonna happen. You can't. Nothing goes on in this city without me knowing about it." She's a kingpin.
Did she have a
And
training
so
day moment?
yeah, like what, like like, like it's not about what you know, it's about what you can prove.
Oh
like,
shit.
like, give me the pitch, Jake. Um, that's what she said to the angel. I'm pretty
Mm.
sure that's what that was in the subtitle. She said,
Oh, okay.
Jake, give me the bitch. I'm surgical with this bitch, Jake. But like, yeah, and then that, I mean, that wrapped up the movie, honestly. Like, that wrapped it up. Makima killed her. Makima, we're just like, damn, girl, like you, okay. I mean, we know
Mm.
who she is, but I'd be like, damn, that's how you do about your man. If my woman ain't like that, I don't want
Now I know I'm into crazies, but
her.
you, that's what you want. You sure about that? You sure about
This girl
that?
Maki, this girl Makima took this man on my dream date. Oh my!
Mm.
You ever see the reels on Instagram where she's like, oh, what the husband's like, what'd you and the baby do? And she's just like, oh, he just breastfed all day. And then he's like, oh, so my dream date. That's cool. And so and it's like
I haven't
10
seen that.
movies in a row. She just paid for 10 movies in a row.
Because
I'm
you know he
like,
broke. He ain't got no money. That means she paid
I'm
for it all.
going. Yeah, I'm going. I'm going. Let's do it. Like I need to give me a couple cans of dip and like let me get my fuzzy socks on and let's rock it. Let's do it.
But that
Like
that
I'm
level of
going.
manipulation is crazy. Like
I mean,
it seemed
she
like
gave
she
him what she
was,
promised him though.
but she was. It was all a manipulation tactic. Like
Oh, it's
she
the
took him
entire
one. The
brother,
whole date is a manipulation tactic, and then
brother,
she had to be paying attention to him to see if he would react, just so she can say, "Oh, it made me cry too."
brother. She's been manipulating him since the day she met him. Of course, we know this. We already know that she's literally leading him on for her own purposes.
Mm.
She's giving him these goals and then she's allowing these goals to happen. Like she's not just giving false goals and then when he meets them, he's not going to or no, she got to keep him on a leash. She got to keep him
Yeah.
chained. And if he knows, if it could be like, hey, we'll go out for coffee if you do this, he's going to go. And then they go out for coffee. And then she's like, hey, the next time you do this, we'll go on a date. And then they go on a date. The next time, if she's like, which she does, which spoiler alert, like, hey, the next time we can have, sexual relations. And then, he knows that, well, she's done all this in the past. So I'm definitely getting this.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to stay. He's not going to go nowhere. That's master manip. We
Did he?
know she's a master manipulator.
Wasn't one of her objectives to let him see her tits or let her touch her tits or something like that?
That was power.
Oh, that was power. Yeah, no, yeah, that was power.
Yeah. But I mean,
Game is
either way.
game.
But like that's masterful manipulation. We know that she's a manipulator. Like we know that, and we I know that that I know that we've already seen her crazy in the first season with the whole sacrificing people's bodies to like do her powers and stuff like that. So like we know because she's a devil. Like we spoiler alert. Like we know. Sorry.
Spoiler
Like
gang. What do you mean?
I mean, but you should know because the last season her eyes turned yellow like the
Mm.
devils to do her power. Like that's only devils can do that. So if you've seen the last season, you should. We don't know what type of. I mean, we do know. But like most people don't know what type of devil she is
Mm.
or what she can do specifically because she does so many different things. Like her powers are just like all over the map.
Yeah.
That's why she's the most powerful. So like at the end of the day, I'm not again kind of circling back to our first conversation. I'm not saying that this movie itself, like what happened, was bad. I think it was great action.
Mm.
I think the whole idea was good, but there was no wow factor for me to be like, wow, this is a movie. Like there was no wow besides like the fighting. The fighting was great, but the wow factor to me would have been something like that changed the
Like game
dynamic of
changing.
everything.
Mm.
You know,
Mm.
killing Division 2 ain't really a change in dynamic for me because in the last season we found out that I don't who was it there was somebody going around that killed literally 50% of like all of them in
Mm.
like the last season. They were just walking up on them on the street and it was on
What was that? Samurai Man or something like that?
I forget, it might have been the Sword Devil. It was somebody. No, because they were getting shot, remember? They were getting shot.
Mm.
Like there'd be two of them walking down the street and just like bang bang and they'd be dead. And then we see somebody literally sitting at a soba shop eating and bang dead in the soup. And then Makima sitting on a train. They tried to kill her. It ain't gonna work. Big dog, you should have just left. You should have went home. But whoever gave him that assignment, he was crying. Train.
This is going to be a
But
spoiler that I'm going to say beforehand. So if you want to mute well, not you mute, but if you want to mute me for the next like
I'll mute.
minute or
Just
so,
kidding.
one thing that is game changing is really focusing on Aki. Aki focusing on the devils he has, the contracts, the pointing out that his time is short, the little promise he made to his old squad, saying, "Yeah, I'll return in 5 years," knowing full well that he's
At
not
any
going to live that long, and then losing more time off his life. All that culminating to the fact that this nigga's going to die early. He's going to die way earlier than 5 years, 4 years, 3 years, 2 years. So I think that's game changing, and that's something like you really have to be paying attention to pick up on moving forward after this
I
movie.
mean, yeah, you kind of just see like
You're good, guys.
his lifespan just keeps getting shorter and shorter and shorter, even by not even just fighting, just like the decisions that he makes. So
I
understandably,
think every
you'll
time he
see.
uses his sword, it shortens as well because that the sword thing is the another contract that he made, and every
Oh
time he uses the
yeah.
sword, he cutting off more time off his life. So he gets to be OP with a sword with his little katana, but
Yeah.
it's killing him.
Game is game. He doesn't care.
Hey, he's
Ball
here
is
to do a
ball.
job.
Yeah. And if he knows there's angels and he's like, there has to be a God, so like send me there. like like in the upper rooms.
I mean, my job is
like
killing demons. What else do you want
yeah.
from me?
Like I've literally that's funny me watching Helsing last night. Yeah, last night where he's just like, I'm God's divine instrument of justice to purify all your souls. It's just like, send it
I
then,
can't
brother. I
wait
don't know what to
until
tell
your
you.
Helsing review. That's what I'm looking forward to.
It's the Catholic Church, yay! Oh no, it's the Catholic Church. Wow, I talked about China, Russia, Saudi Arabia, and the Catholic Church today. Wow,
It's an
this is a
episode.
podcast for the books. This is an episode for the books, brother. Um, but yeah, like there, like I will say, the only reason why I call it trash, and I'm not gonna backtrack what I said. The only reason why I call it trash is because I just don't. This wasn't like a movie. Like it's just not like like wow that happened. Oh, Denji is like now super OP now, or like or this chick is like now gonna be captured and like she's gonna be use her to get Denji to do whatever. There was nothing like I knew Makima was crazy even without knowing the future we saw happen in the past. Like we know Makima crazy, we
Hmm.
know she's insane. Her doing a little shadow clone jutsu with some rats. I wasn't surprised. I was like, damn, but I wasn't surprised.
Hmm.
Like
Hmm.
she's OP and she's nuts. Like you know what I'm saying? Like she's cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Like I'm aware, right? But it's just like honestly, I wouldn't even like if we got Angel Boy in like full-fledged combat, I probably would have been like that was a pretty good movie. Like because
A
I think
spear from heaven wasn't good enough for you?
he did two and he aura farmed. He didn't actually fight. He didn't fight a single thing. Like he didn't. Did he?
I mean, he doesn't like to fight. He said so himself.
Motherfuckers just think I'm fighting because I got a reason. But really, I just like to fight. But like, I don't know.
I don't.
That's
I
like
feel like
Denji.
it fills so many prescriptions for me. One is canon. If you make a canon movie, I think that's already a dub.
Yeah,
Two, character
yeah.
development. Three, beautiful animation. Four, a good story. With all of that, I'm willing to say that this was a really good movie. Now, Demon Slayer on the same vein, great story, great animation, development, all of that. It's the only thing that killed me was the backstory. So, in my opinion,
No,
this is was
no,
slightly above.
no. I understand, and I mean, people have that opinion. A lot of people have that stuff, but like, I saw on Reddit, for example, there are people on one or two sides of this fence for this movie. Either people really hated this Chainsaw Man movie and said it was
Really?
what was that? And then there's others that are just like, this was a masterpiece,
Masterpiece.
a masterclass movie of anime ever made. I'm like, huh? How,
I don't
bro?
want to say all
First of
that.
all,
It was
you're
good. It was
you're
really
probably
good. But
you're probably the same type of person that said Chainsaw Man is a overrated anime in the first place, and now all of a sudden the movie is a masterpiece. Like, stop, because like I think the
that's
show has
me.
been better than the movie,
That's me.
honestly.
Honestly, when Chainsaw Man, like I didn't read into Chainsaw Man. I saw the first season. I was like, this
You're
shit's
not
just
calling it
it's
like
just
the masterpiece
wild.
of
Like it
anime
was
of all time.
decent. But then the movie I think made my perception of just the show much better.
It's not gonna touch Infinity Castle numbers.
No,
or
it's
manga.
not going to touch those numbers because one, the audience is much smaller than Demon Slayer's audience. Demon Slayer, you could take
Yeah,
your 12-year-old to watch it. You're not taking your 12-year-old to watch Chainsaw Man.
I mean, yeah, my little sister-in-law that's 8 was in the same movie theater as we were, but I'm definitely not taking her to see Chainsaw Man. She's definitely not gonna watch Chainsaw Man. But like, I don't know. I'm not saying the story or the fighting or any of that was bad. I
Yeah.
think it was great in that aspect. I just think it wasn't movie. I think it should have just been a show. It should have just been a season.
Do you think he
Like,
may
or not
know
even a
too
season.
much? Do you know too much?
No, because I don't think I know
Not
that
knowing.
much
Well, I
really.
mean, just knowing anything past the movie. Do you feel like with knowledge of future events that it kind of diminished some things that did occur in the movie that would have just given you
I
hints to future
mean,
events?
maybe because if they really showed Makima's like, I know because I know they don't, but like if they did, if they really showed Makima's like true intentions by the end of the movie, like one last little like Denji's heart is mine, like something like that, I'd have been like, oh, like I've been like, oh, she's telling people now. Like, I
Hmm.
mean, she's gonna die, so it don't really matter. But like,
Someone would still say, "Oh, she just really loves him."
right. But like, but we would have known like that's not because everybody's after his heart,
Hmm.
and so if she's like, you can't take it because it's mine, like last minute, and then scene cut,
In
I'd
so
have been
many
like,
words, she
oh
kind of did.
shit.
In so
But
many
she
words.
didn't though.
Yeah, I
I'm
feel you.
saying
I
if it
feel
was
you.
clear and she was just like, now we find out that she's actually like, okay, batshit crazy and she's a bad guy. Like then we've been like, okay, that was really. Now when I watch the next season, I'm gonna be like, ooh, you raggedy, like, you know what I'm saying? Like she's just like Denji-kun, like let's go out and do this. I'm gonna be like, Denji, don't fall for this little tramp. Don't do it. I mean, I'm doing it anyways because I already know. But like, if I didn't know, I'd be like, you mother, you,
Hmm.
you gaslighter, master manipulator, right there. That's the enemy herself, right? But she didn't really. She was just like, stay away from my man's, yo. Like, so I don't know. I give it's hard because this movie is definitely that everything that happened in the movie was great, but as a movie, but like what happened was easily like a 8 out of 10.
So
Like it
final
wasn't
score
it
overall
wasn't
then.
there wasn't a lot of it was kind of anticlimactic their whole little love affair and then her immediately like going into quick like I know they did a little time skip where they were going on we would be led to assume that they were hanging out for at least a month like a little maybe a little over, but like I don't know
It kind of
everything that happened was like an 8 out of 10
it
whole
kind of
movie in
continues
itself.
it kind of continues to build on his character of being easily manipulated by
We already knew
women and
that.
by yeah, but is it just Rize or is it other people who can also have this control over him?
I mean, this motherfucker literally was like, "Why is it that every woman that like
Why
it's
does
like
everyone
first it's
have
Makima,
the
then it's
chainsaw's heart?
or first it's power, and then it's you. Like every woman's trying to kill me." Um, I mean, Makima did try to kill him in the beginning though, before he decided to go with her. So I guess technically he did say Makima actually, because Makima did try to kill him in the
Hmm.
beginning before he was like, "All right, I'll serve you." So, but yeah, I don't know what I want to give this movie. It's really hard because I don't want to say like 5 out of 10 because what happened was not a five, but it being a movie was the fact that it's a 5 out of. What happened was an 8. Like if this was a season or an arc season, I'd have been like, this was a great season. Like this was a fantastic.
Mm.
But the fact that you made it a movie, which I guess I can't be too mad about because I didn't have week after week to watch it.
Mm.
I got it all in an hour and a
A
half. But
whole
like,
arc, two
yep,
volumes.
yeah. So like, I got it all, so I can't be mad about it. But like, it just wasn't movie
Five
worthy
out
to
of
me.
10.
I can't.
Is that what we settling on? 5 out of 10.
I give it a 6.
6 out of 10. Okay, hey y'all
As
heard
as
him.
a
That's how he felt.
as no not as a movie,
Mm.
but if it was like a season, I'd have been like, this was the best season in
Oh
Chainsaw
yeah,
Man
if it
ever.
was, I think it would have done well as a season as well. So
Yeah, I'd have been like, this is easily the best season Chainsaw Man has ever
I mean,
like easily.
we got one season, but yeah. It makes sense, makes sense, makes sense.
Well, better than the first season.
But I'm gonna go with your original score. I think it was a good 8 out of 10 as a movie.
Yeah.
8 out of 10. So
I'll give you that. Okay, that's
okay,
A.
okay.
Maybe I was just expecting too much. Maybe that's
I
just me.
I also can say that I'm a Chainsaw Man fan. Because of this movie, I'm more of a
Yeah,
fan of Chainsaw Man. I want to see more from him. So that's why
yeah,
I think I also boosted up a little bit more.
yeah. Maybe I was in this movie just expecting to not be sitting back in my chair like this the whole time and being like,
I
"This is
was
cool
I
action."
was
Like
locked in. Like,
this
hey,
is, I mean, it's dope. Like when I was watching the fight, and I was like, "Damn!" Like, oh shit,
I
oh cool,
was
cool, cool,
laughing
cool,
my
cool.
ass
The
off.
only
I
time,
was rooting them on. Fuck them
the
up.
only time, the only time I sat up was when he was talking about the Angel Boy, and I was like, "What you mean by that?
Okay.
What you mean by that?"
I mean, he's a androgynous, ain't he? Like, is he a boy? Is he a girl? Are we sure? Do angels
That's
have
a boy.
gender? Like, we don't know. Come
They don't, but
on.
that's not the
Exactly.
point. That's
Exactly. What do you mean? He's a real pretty
anyways.
dude. Like,
Let us okay. Let us know down below how you guys felt about the if you have watched the movie. Again, spoiler alert, it'll be put in the beginning anyways. If you watch all the way through this, I mean, still go watch the movie if you haven't seen the movie because what we said is very, very wave toppy of what actually happened in the movie. Because we're not going to dive into a whole hour and a half, but we appreciate it. We love you guys. Please like, subscribe, leave the notification bell so you don't miss out on the next one. We'll see you in the next time. Peace out.
peace.